girls in the house. How are we?
Time that just well, man. I just started the stream. Well timed.
Fantastic. I was a bit late, yeah. I was not late like previously. I've got two A4 bits of paper of writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing homework for Pitstop.
Homework for the Pitstop. Wow. Okay.
Yes, a week in view. So, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
But I've had a lot of time on my hands lately.
Yeah, a bit much, I'd imagine.
Oh no, I don't want it to end. I could quite happily live in isolation forever. It's great. I love it.
I know it's been shit all round for most people, but I wouldn't mind catching it just for the week of isolation and not having to do anything.
Yeah, the worst I felt was tired. I was like about 48 hours of just feeling absolutely shagged out. And then for the rest of the week, I've just been kicking back, chilling, watching Netflix and
watching Netflix and chill, yeah?
Yeah, and I've cracked back on with Fallout 4, just settlement building, just because it's not taxing at all. I can just sit there and think. It's basically Minecraft for grown-ups, really. And just sat there building huts and shops and stuff like that.
Okay,
Happy
fair enough.
days.
Fair enough.
I mean,
indeed.
So yeah, I've had a cracking week. I've binge watched one or two things, not major lots of things, but just a few things.
No,
Gentry is the main one. I've been hammering, even though it got cancelled after the second season. So as soon as I get to the end of the second season, I'm stuffed.
Yeah. Yeah, that normally happens with things we watch. Like we get into it and then find out it's been cancelled or something.
No, I did know it going in. I knew that it wasn't a long one, but it's the bloke who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams or something like that. Where he wrote books called Gentry as well, Gently, and these Americans have adapted it. And I've enjoyed it anyway. I don't want to go too far into it. It's not so much the main character; he's annoying as hell.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. The main character is annoying as hell, but it's just loads of these other characters in it. There's like an assassin that's like doesn't know what's going on. She just kills people by accident. It's fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and talk about Dirt Gently for about an hour. We're here to talk about the Virtual Racers Club. How are you?
Yeah, fine, man. I'm all good. How are you?
Good.
Well,
I'm good. I'm good. Well, yes. Yeah. I'm rested.
Yeah.
And I'm well.
Good.
And I've loved it, unfortunately. Going back to work on Monday, it's going to be a real ball. I still wanted to carry on testing. If I carried on testing positive up to day 10, I could have had Monday off. But
right, it was day 10 today.
I was clear today, and clear yesterday was my second day clear on Saturday. Okay. So I tested on Friday and I was clear, and I tested on Saturday and I was clear.
You just have to.
NHS says that's all you need.
Yeah, it's all right. Just go around licking everything again.
Yeah. Get another week off.
Why not? Have you been getting paid while you've been off, or has it been unpaid?
It's one of them. It's one of them that it's gone into your sick, because then I started getting really moody with them, saying, "Well, then I don't. I'm such a child because there's no need for the argument." But they want all this proof that I've got COVID. They wanted pictures of my lateral flow test. They wanted pictures of me PCR emails and screenshots of me PRC test emails. And I'm kind of like answering them back saying, but it's from my sick. It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter if I've got COVID, a cold. What do you want all this proof for? I've got COVID. Yeah. If it's just going into my normal sick. And they were like saying, well, you've still got to prove you've got it. And I was like, well, then you should pay us for having COVID then.
Yeah.
If you want special proof for it. And so me and HR have been having fun, but mainly it was down to boredom. I couldn't give two shits. I was just annoyed.
Just after something to do.
The way they came across. Yeah, I didn't like the way they came across in the first email saying about all proving stuff and that. And I thought I sent them to my line leader. I'd send them the pictures. I weren't precious about anything. Just HR was like, well, you should send it to us, not your team leader.
Yeah, but that's the point of your team leader, is to be the liaison between backroom staff and yourselves. What's
I
the
know,
point of
but
being a
he's
leader?
night shift team leader, and I don't even know if he's got the work email. I sometimes wonder. You tell him something, and then you see him on days, and they said, "Oh, you went in last week, or you missed a day last week." And I went, "Yeah, booked it as holiday." And I went, "Oh, right. Well, no one told us."
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's one of them. So what a week! What a week! Because I missed a lot of replays, so it feels like double the amount happened this week.
Well, yeah, you streamed a lot of 2 rounds in one day, didn't you?
Yeah, catching up. Well, I didn't want everything to be out of order, so I had to sort of like quickly man up from my pit and get on with it. But I'm guessing we start the look back at the team versus team. I know that was the last stream I did, but it is the longest event away.
Yeah.
If you know, a week ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did the stream last night, and it looked very fun. It looked very good, very even. I'd say. I mean, it was hard to draw it between the two teams. It's Art and VRC looks quite even Stevens in their racing skill sets.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good pair of races. I mean, I think we didn't have the rub of the green, or the luck, if you get me, in either races. But yeah, I'll let you carry on.
Oh, well, all I was going to say, in race 1, which was at Brazil in the Group 4s, VRC were in the VRC were in the Nissans, and Amigos chose the Aston Martin. And in race 1, Zeno took the win. Binko came home in second, and Langster brought it home for the final podium position. And then at race 2, they went on to the Group 3 cars at Yamagawa. And Homesick Alien took the win with a one-stop strategy. Zeno could only manage second with his 2-stop, and Langster came home in third in a 1-stop. So, yeah, it was Homesick didn't take part in race 1, so that is an unknown. We don't know how he would have fared in that race, but he did well in the second race. He did start at the front, I guess, as well. That must have been somewhat helpful.
Yeah, definitely. With the strategy he had, starting at the front was beneficial, especially with with the rest of us trying to slow him down and keep ahead of him to watch his back, or help him out in any way, shape, or form we could. It definitely did help. But hats off to Homesick for pulling the 1-stop out. And I tried it. I wasn't quite so lucky. I know a couple of others tried it.
Yeah.
So
tyre wear looked rough though. It looked really rough.
Yeah, Magiwa, it was going to be, wasn't it?
Yeah, long sweeping corners and stuff like that. And I mean, I think Amigos kind of dropped the ball, because they had Zeno was out on track before his second stop, and Homesick was in third with Ryan is badge, in front of him. And I honestly thought Zeno was going to go into the pits, and that Ryan's bad for you was just going to try and slow Homesick Alien down as much as possible on that lap. But he came in the pits also, and that must have been, Homesick must have thought he got Christmas and birthday at the same time. Then I bet he thought he was going to be struggling to get past this Ryan. He was quite tired. He was that Ryan. He did well in the races. He got 5th in race 1, 5th in race 2. So. But it was an enjoyable race. I enjoyed it. I hear there's another team versus team, but it's more of the Rookie Cup.
So they approached.
Up, I saw.
Yeah, they approached Koi, or they approached us about doing another one for what they class as rookies. Obviously, what we class as rookie is completely different. But basically, the general gist of the guys that normally run towards the rear of the grids, both for ART and for us, which. Again, we've used our rating system to pick 7 drivers to compete for us against the ART and another team versus team, which is the 5th of February, I believe.
Yes, I saw on Discord in the I know at least one race is going to be in the Max 5s. I
think they're both going to be the same.
Oh, excellent. I love those cars. I do like to see them out there racing. And that's really cool, isn't it? Because usually when it's team versus team, it's like the same old characters, although we had some brand new people representing us. Special mention to I think Binko, first time racing in the VRC colours.
Did you?
Digital Blasphemy, going out in the colours for the first time.
I'm not sure if Guesty's been out for the colours, but Guesty's been.
I don't. So yeah, some new faces out there. But we don't do many Team B teams, I suppose. So it's not like there's a solid team that's always doing the team versus team things. But it's nice to have it mixed.
We generally try to keep ourselves to ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah.
We tend. In experience, we tend to not mix too well with other groups.
we do seem to upset people. I don't know how, because we're a lovely bunch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
All right.
Well, that's why I tried staying out of this one, because to be honest with you, I thought it was me. So I thought I'll leave Racer Brown to deal with the first one, and then Coy to deal with the second one. But
like a welcoming committee.
Yeah,
sales team.
The further I can stay away from it, the better. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's like I wasn't even meant to be racing in the first one. It was only because somebody pulled out last minute. I said I'd jump in. So,
I've done well then, because what did you were battling?
I was doing good in the first race, battling for the lead after our first stop.
That was it. It was the fuel. You and Steve right near the end there really struggled.
Yeah, I stopped the lap early and through fighting, used too much fuel, used more fuel than what I was wanted to. But I was only trying to run interference. My plan was to go on super softs, get ahead, and just run interference for Racer Brown and Binko. Racer Brown having his spin in the opening couple of laps, obviously dented our chances a bit, along with Homesick not starting properly. But yeah, and then race 5 I was fighting towards the front, and I got punted at the triple chicane. Apparently apparently it was what was the word used? Netcode problems.
Netcode. Oh, you got. But I think I saw that on mine, because I saw an incident between Racer Brown, which obviously Racer Brown doesn't slam into other cars, and there was one where it looked like he really slammed into Ranger. And Racer Brown later sent me a video of it, and Ranger wasn't even there. He wasn't even there on his screen. He was in about 3 different places. I think he was something like 14 foot off the track. He was also behind Racer Brown, and he was also over the other side of the track. So, I mean, Racer Brown obviously smashed in with a bit of netcode.
Yeah, clearly,
it was all over the place.
It is thought.
And I saw an incident between Homesick and Simo where it looked like Homesick nudged the rear quarter of Simo, who did redress. And I know Alien always redresses. I've never not known him not to. So I imagine that was another lag issue out there for you guys to deal with. I think Racer Brown said they were lagging quite a lot, especially in the second race or something like that.
Yeah, I found them quite laggy as well, trying to fight my way back through. I don't know. Just we can't prevent these things. We can't really help these things. There's bits and pieces we do to try and prevent them as a group. But yeah, I mean, I know that a lot more groups tend to have connection issues than what we do, generally speaking. So it might have just been that. Maybe next time I'll host it or something, or one of us host it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
It'd be our turn, home and away advantage in it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Our host, and all like that.
Well, one thing that winds me up is you ask if you're ready, the time comes up for when you're meant to start the race, and then they wait another 5 minutes. No, you get on with it.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right for me. I was on the replays. I didn't have any. It was straight in.
I think that's why I host all of our stuff. Well, all the stuff I compete in, because it's just easier. 8 o'clock, we go. I tell you, 1:45, we go.
Even if you're not in the room, who did you leave behind the other day? I was totally confused. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Sharon or Bunty, one of the two.
You snooze, you lose, Sharon. You're not ready. You're not in.
I restarted for him, man. Even though it did glitch out afterwards, I did restart for him. Sorry.
Bless it. He's had some connection issues the last couple of races, hasn't he?
Yeah, it seemed to have come back a little bit.
Really Cork River race, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he missed out.
WRXs or something.
I think he missed out on 2, didn't it? Is he in WRX?
Really? I'm not sure. It was VGT when he couldn't get in there.
Yeah, it was VGT he couldn't get in, yeah.
So anyway, the team v team thing ended up with Zeno on 31 points, Lankster finishing on 28, Binko, highest VRC guy, in third place on 26 points. Ryan Isbadgino was fourth on 24 points. Beardy got fifth with 23 points. Racer Brown sixth on 23 points also. Skyjacker seventh with 19 points. Ranger eighth on 18 points. Homesick Alien ninth on 16 points. Simo in 10th on 15 points. Guesty in 11th on 11 points. Tim Pro finished 12 on 10 points, same as Coy in 13th. And Digi in 14th in 9 points. Digi saying he really did not like that Nissa.
No, I don't think he had too much chance to practice beforehand either. And I, speaking from experience, when I first got in it for the first round or two at GTMC, I struggled with the GR4 with getting it to turn in and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Digi did us proud. At least he rocked up, did his best. That's all we could ask.
So yeah. Well, even like when people were pitting, he made it hard work for any Amigos guys to get by.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if that's just a small part paying towards the win for Homesick, it's a big thing.
Always, everyone contributed. Everybody did their best, and yeah. I think, like I said at the start, I think Racer Brown spinning out, and a miscalculation on fuel for me and Guesty. The shunts in the second race and stuff like that. I think we just didn't have the luck or the rub of the green. It didn't go our way. So roll on the next one if we do have another one.
Yeah, it's there's definitely one in February, but
yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So then we've got our Tuesday evening race, and I've put down round one results. I know it was on a replay before round two.
Mm-hmm.
But round one was at Brazil. Racer Brown took both wins for Subaru. In the first race, Bunny got second and Homesick got third for Mitsubishi. And I think Bunny drives for Subaru. He's got like a similar livery as Racer Brown. In the second race, Racer Brown took the win. Homesick Alien got second and Guesty got himself third. That was in the Group 4s on tarmac around Brazil. And, they were feisty races. I know it's hard to remember all these races and that, but, if I remember rightly, they not much in it between the Subarus. You called out the Subarus, didn't you? And they have obviously they dominated that first round. But between the two...
The Mitsubishis...
wasn't that far off.
The Mitsubishis come away in the lead, didn't they?
Did they?
Huh?
Well, yeah, I think they had more positions.
Yeah, the Mitsubishi, the manufacturers, the Mitsubishi come out in the lead of round one. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So, it looks like quite an even championship from that first round. Then we went into round two, taking the Group B cars into the mud, and that was interesting with that Joker lap. I've got to say, I don't know if you ever saw any of it, but it does mix it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've used it in Rallycross before, haven't we? I like the way it works in Rallycross, I think it worked well on Tuesday. I think it made for some interesting races and some interesting ideas on when you can do it and when you can't do it.
Yeah. And so in race one here at Sardinia, Bunny took the win ahead of Homesick Alien and Rido on the podium. And I've been bigging Rido up this championship. I thought he's looked quite sharp in his Subaru. He had some good positions in the first round, got himself a podium in the first race in the second round, so Rido stepping up. It's good to see. Then in the second race, Bunny took the win again ahead of Homesick Alien with Guesty, the final podium position there, sneaky one in. And then the third and final race, Racer Brown took the win, his third win of the championship, with Homesick Alien in second. So Homesick Alien got second place in all three races. And Guesty, again, getting that podium position. So, yeah, good fun frolics in the mud. And that championship's as tight as a knot in the rivals. Yep. You've got Racer Brown and Homesick Alien both on the top with 91 points. I guess Racer Brown just edges it through race wins.
Past that, that's
Homesick hasn't won one.
XL does what it wants to do with putting people on top.
No, I know. I'll just have a quick look down, and it's Race of Rounds won 3 races so far this season, and Homesick hasn't, so I haven't won one. So, but yeah, there you go. That's how tight it is between the Subarus and the Mitsubishis. They're both at the top of the table on 91 points. Then we've got Bunny in a Subaru on 85 points in third. Desti fourth on 80 points in the Mitsubishi. Shiren fifth in the Mitsubishi on 76 points. Burrito sixth in the Subaru on 69 points, ahead of Pat, who's seventh in his Subaru on 59 points. Turtle in eighth on 44 points in the Mitsubishi, with Trivs GG in ninth on 42 points. Jim in 10th in the Subaru for 38 points. Joker's 11th in his Subaru, 32 points. Oh, Jim was 38 points. I think I might have read that wrong. Uncle B Darren's 12th in his Subaru on 22 points, and Rivixter 30 on 19 points for Mitsubishi. And the little manufacturers' championship we've got going on there is Subaru is leading on 378 points, with Mitsubishi in second on 352 points. But that's all set to change, surely, as we're not even halfway through yet.
No, there's still a long way to go. Long way to go. It'd be interesting as well. I like the bouncing between the Group 4 and the Group B car as well. Adds an extra level onto it.
And there'll be a Brands Hatch on Tuesday.
Yep, which is anyone's game. Let's face it.
Yeah. With that first corner, it could bend.
Yeah.
Well, there's any number of corners, to tell you the truth. Wow. So that's our Tuesday evening racing. Then we move on to the VGT, the Vision, and what a couple of races we've had from that. Oh my gosh. Oh my good golly gosh. That's been an intense championship so far. I can't believe there's only 2 rounds left.
I know.
But it's been absolutely intense, from Digital Blasphemy's absolute dominance in round 1 at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Then we went on to Suzuka for round 2, where Homesick Alien dominated and got the win in both races. So Homesick Alien won the first race. Yourself came second, and Shiren in third. Then onto the feature race. Homesick Alien took the win there also, with Bunny in second and yourself on the podium again in third place. And by then, that was your second pole, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my second pole. Yeah.
Then on Thursday, we had round 3 at Bathurst. Oh my word! Oh my gosh! And yourself again, the only man to sit on pole this season in the VGT.
Yeah,
season 3.
I don't know where it's coming
3
from.
poles in a row.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming
Very
from. Was really surprised on Thursday to get pole, let alone by the margin. Normally, a Homesick Alien would normally have spanked me there, and I'm sure if Shiren was there, it would have been a different story as well. But
it is one of Homesick Alien's favourite tracks. When you see him entered into a Bathurst race, you know he's going to do well usually.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to hold him back at Bathurst. So, and you managed. It wasn't easy, but you managed to turn that pole into a win.
No, I did.
In the spring race.
Again, I have no idea how. No idea how.
Unbelievable stuff. I think everyone had a nibble that year, didn't they, at some point?
Not in the first race, no. In all honesty,
I thought you had, because you had Digital and Homesick just behind you, weren't you?
Yeah, the start early on, there was Bunny, Digi, and Homesick just behind, but Homesick and Digi had it coming together, and then Bunny just couldn't keep the pace through the mountain section.
He couldn't, could he? No, I remember now. He was holding on to that second, but just not closing in on you.
Yeah,
and he was more worried about what was going on behind him, because there was quite a few cars.
They were closing up on him as well, weren't they? But yeah, like I said, I've got no idea. Normally, out of the 5 rounds, I was looking at Mount Panorama to be my bogey track, and the one where I dropped my score. It's turning out to not look like that, but we'll see. Still two rounds left.
Yeah.
2 rounds left.
But yeah, so you won. Bunny came home in second, and Digital Blasphemy back on the podium again after his first round. Dominance, getting the third place. Then in race two, wow, that had everything in it. That had the drama. It had unbelievable racing throughout the field. It's got to be said, if I recommend a stream that I've done this week to anyone, I would say race 2 at Bathurst for the VGT, because it was spectacular. Homesick Alien took the win.
Comfortably.
And he did that. He did a long stint. Did he start on the mediums?
Yeah, he started on the mediums and then stopped,
late.
3 laps from the end or whatever for fresh tyres and set the fastest lap.
That was it. He probably could have been the first, because he's the first guy who's won with a pit stop, isn't he, in the feature, because everyone else has gone without a pit stop.
Yeah,
but he
so
probably
far
could have gone without a pit stop. It was a technicality one. He just wanted to get the fastest lap.
Yeah, and fair play to him. I would have done the same if I had the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, every point's going to count in this championship. It's clever thinking, really, if he had the time.
Yeah.
And after you and Bunny with your ice racing, oh my gosh, that was a moment and a half, wasn't it? That's got to turn up on TikTok at some point.
Well, both of us simultaneous pirouetting. I think we both just pushed it too much through the through Skyline. And just, I know that I just ran just onto the curb and it unsettled the rear and spun me round. I had the same happen in practice a couple of times as well. I think that Bunny was just the same thing, just followed my line and ended up spinning as well.
But what a race you two were having until that point as well. You were both dicing with physics. You were pushing the realms of physics. I saw both of you going quite wide over one of the curves, which usually spins people off, and you both got away with it. And it's just like those two, they've even got no grip whatsoever, and neither of them are lifted at all. It was a joy to watch.
It was one of them things, just to do what we could to keep ahead and to not get caught by Uncle B and Cthulhu, which obviously up until our spin, I think they would have still caught us, but whether or not they would have got past would have been a different story.
No, well, they were the early doors. They were fighting each other, so I don't think they were making much impact. And then I think Cthulhu managed to shrug off UBD and managed to start chasing you guys down.
Yeah,
but you guys were racing as well. It was a cracking stuff.
Try not to. Actually, what I was doing when I actually caught up with Bunny, I fuel saving to high heaven, and then. When I had enough, that I started pushing, and it was, I think, the second lap that I was pushing where we spun. But yeah, it was good fun. Like you said, it had everything. I mean, even guys towards the back were fighting as well, left, right, and centre. And it was a hard one to keep track of on the stream. So
it was a great race. But Cthulhu came home in second in the end, and UBD back to the podium. Yeah. So he might be getting, because he did say in the stream, I'd mentioned about he's been off form of late, and he said he's getting used to new pedals and stuff, so he might now
be getting there.
Being on the podium, he might be getting on top of those new pedals. We'll see. We might see some more flashes of UBD up there in the top 3.
Let's hope.
And the table then. Hang on. The iPad keeps closing on me.
Oh no, not a closing iPad.
So the VGT Championship table then, after 3 rounds, you're on the top. Skyjacker is sitting on top of the table with 90 points.
Yeah.
Homesick Alien in second on 89 points. Digital Blasphemy in third on 74 points. Bunny in fourth on 66 points. Still a danger when he drops points in it, because he got only half points in that first round.
Yeah.
So Bunny's still a danger in this one. Uncle B Darren in 5th on 63 points. The Joker 6th on 58 points. Shren in 7th on 57 points, but he missed the round. That was the one that he couldn't take part in, I think. Then Alphanut in 8th on 56 points. Cthulhu in 9th on 55 points. Barry Twins 10th on 40 points. Electric 11th on 39 points. Trish GG 12th on 33 points. Turtle in 13th, 28 points. Burrito 14th, 10 points. And Simon in 15th on 5 points. And what a tiny little championship. With only two rounds left.
Yeah,
Still
man.
anyone's game, I'd say. Still anyone's game in that top 4 or 5.
Yeah, I had a very quick look at drop scores and the let me find it again. The after drop scores, the top 5 are separated by 10 points. So it's going to be close. Going to be very close.
Excellent. Excellent. And then we've got one more thing to go over. It's been a really long week in review. No, it's not been too bad, is it?
No.
Has that
fine.
table been done?
You're fine.
No, and the table's been done for WRX, so this is all up to date.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then, for our live Friday event was the WRX Challenge, round 3 at Spa, where we got a little bit of a light drizzle.
Yeah, a little
on
bit
the track. It wasn't much rain for Spa.
Yeah.
I mean, we managed to race F1. They wouldn't have gone out on it, but we did.
No, definitely.
So we could have hung around for 5 hours just to see if we fancied it or not, but we didn't.
No, we cracked on.
So yourself took the first win of race 1. Skyjacker wins with Anton. Oh my gosh, yes, I remember now. Anton in second and Racer Brown in third. I mean, it was you and Racer Brown on that final lap all the way, fighting it out. Anton just lurking behind the two of you. When it got to the final chicane, I think Racer Brown really, really late braked it, didn't he? He seemed to have gone in quite deep.
Yeah, but I
don't know if you had to lift to avoid him or what, but Anton was in like a bullet up the side of you, mid-chicane.
Yeah, I had to delay my turn in because obviously Racer Brown was there and he was going faster than what I wanted to. And then, so I ducked in for for the apex, and then I turned in and Anton was there. And then obviously trying to avoid Racer Brown and give him room on the inside of the second apex with Anton hanging out on my right hand side and on the run out of the corner. Like to get my elbows up. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, you both had a drag race down to the start line, and you crossed it 0.013 seconds ahead of Anton. You were literally side by side. At one point, Anton was leading. Down the straight, it said Anton was in front. But where
Anton was on the outside, he was naturally going to take a line that went over the curb and the AstroTurf. So, all right, there was a tiny bit of contact halfway through the exit, but certainly, I gave him racing room. Our track limits is the curbs. I made sure that he had the curb and the white line within reach, but just made sure that he couldn't come back onto track easily and gain traction on me. But yeah, it was bumpy. I mean, me and Racer Brown, we love going door to door. He likes it, me making it difficult for him, and I like making it difficult for him, and stuff like that. And it was hard work. It was quite possibly, I mean, V-Dub at Spa was the hardest race I've ever done mentally. I think WRX on Friday was the hardest I've ever had to defend against anybody. And at one point I was defending against 5.
Yeah, it was cracking. It was a spectacle and a half. It was brilliant. But yeah, I remember there was just a string of cars all vying for that lead. Yeah. It was unbelievable stuff.
It was good fun.
Then we moved on into another 15-minute sprint race. But this time, the heavens opened, the rain arrived, so it was anyone's game. And I think driving standards, really, in the rain, I think everyone did really well. It looked quite good out there. I didn't see many huge mistakes, just little bits running wide here and there, but there was no real crazy ones.
No, there wasn't really any catastrophic braking errors or anything like that. For me it was just obviously track limits, people running a bit wide, not taking corners quite slowly enough, but providing no massive advantages were gained or anything like that. I know it don't look tidy, but it is what it is.
But that's
how we race.
I mean, if you're the man who sat in the car, if you've seen someone going wide and they've stayed ahead of you, or you feel they've pulled away from you, that is worth a report. Yeah. That is, it's with the stewards, keep an eye on as best they can. but they can't sit there watching every car for every corner. So, I mean, if people do feel that there's advantages gained from, some sort of going wide or something, you've got to report those things, guys. We can't do anything about it unless you say to us it's happening.
Please do.
We see it sometimes on the stream.
We actively encourage you to report it.
Yeah, because we don't want penalties back. They're awful. I saw that in the. Luckily, it didn't come up too often.
Yeah, but the one
team they were using the penalties.
Yeah, but in the Interlagos race, that was our race, and we didn't use them. In the Yamagiwa race, it was their race, and we did. And the one penalty I got was for a stupid run wide. Made a mistake in the triple chicane. Ran a bit wide on the third apex. Ran a bit wide on the exit. Sorry, I think it was. And the game gave me half a second penalty. It was ridiculous.
It's so mad. It's like double penalising you. You've lost time anyway. So I much prefer the way we do it. And it's as long as everyone plays to the same rules, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. But if people saw it, because I saw it. Blanchimont, cars going wide, coming out of that, not quite making the corner, and it can be seen that you can gain an advantage going wide there. So, I mean, but I'm in the stream. I'm not writing people's names down and working out who.
No. That's not your job, is it, mate? That's not what you're there for. Which is why we need track limit issues. People do need to report.
Stream chat. Yeah, someone did pick up, and I did do a quick explain that we don't use the penalties, and it's down to a trust thing.
Yeah.
But, the stewards will hunt them down and hammer a rusty nail into their foot if they do it.
Well, that, and obviously the penalties are steep, and I know that some people some people have been hit by track limit penalties before, and it's completely destroyed their position finishes. In occasion, it's destroyed them to like the rear of the grid. Yeah, Matt, there you go. Matt knows. What was it? Took second place off you at the last 2.5 hours or something like that, if I remember rightly. Yeah.
Yeah. So just remember those white lines, guys, and for you other guys out there, if you're seeing them using more than the white lines to gain an advantage, just pop in a report saying you thought you saw something.
Yeah.
And one of the stewards will take a look. But in the rain, taking nothing away from the man, Matt Psycho, he reigned supreme in the sprint race, absolutely chugged it, did a fantastic job. And Anton came home in second with a Racer Brown in third.
Anton was subsequently dropped to P8 after penalty.
Was he?
Yeah, Racer Brown took second, I took third.
Oh, well done. Well done on your post thingy. Well,
I don't like them, but I'll take them.
Fair enough. That's okay. And then in the main race, 30 minutes, wasn't it? Or something in the rain.
Minutes,
in the WRX Isle of Man Time Attack Subaru, Homesick Alien came home in the win with Guesty in second. I think both of them was good strategies, wasn't it? And Racer Brown in third.
Yeah.
Although I couldn't work out, there was fuel used, wasn't there? People had to pick in that one.
Yeah.
Because you started on the Inters, didn't you? And I think you were hoping the Inters were going to be a lot more durable than the wets, but it didn't turn out that way.
No, I was hoping that the wets were just going to burn out. But yeah, hey ho, lesson learned. Just go full wets.
Well, for I don't know if there was some sort of weird glitch, but it didn't look like tyre wear was happening at all. They weren't going red at all.
Yeah, when the wet tyres don't really wear out the same way as the dry tyres do. I was hoping that with their Michelin partnership that they would have modelled the wet and the inter tyres where like the wets overheat like they do on Formula 1 and in real life. If they're not kept wet enough, but clearly not. There wasn't much standing water in the 30-minute race, so I thought it was, even though it was still raining, I thought it was intermediate tyres, but I was about 3 or 4 seconds a lap slower than the leaders. So.
Well, it definitely looked a lot less wet because I noticed in the stream in the second race they were kicking up a lot of plumes of spray behind them, whereas there wasn't much spray in the third race behind the cars. So yeah, it did look a lot drier than it did in the middle race. Well, GT7. Let's hope it's something they
dynamic weather
put some thought into, because that sort of thing you want now, especially 2022 in your racing. You want dynamics like that between your tyres. I mean, I'm really surprised. Was it the VGT when they were at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, and the speed between the tyres wasn't really that much difference. People were getting away with the same sort of time laps on the mediums as people were on the softs and that. So I was.
Yeah, but that's only got one braking point, hasn't it? There's no real grip needed.
But I just thought the grip alone around there would cost more than it did.
I don't know.
Because then I thought then non-stoppers, those no-stoppers would have had no chance if the softs or something was a lot faster. And people who pitted and put on the softs might have been catching up the no-stoppers. It never turned out. And I was like, that's very strange.
I'm not an expert on tyres, but I don't know. It was how I would have expected it to be. The pace difference is not a lot because there's only one braking zone, one corner for the softs to gain an advantage on.
No, I suppose it makes sense.
Straight line speed is straight line speed, isn't it? But yeah.
So, and I think all I've got left now is the WRX challenge table to get through, and then that's our week of racing. So the WRX challenge table so far after 3 rounds. Racer Brown is set at the top on 149 points, with Matt Psycho in second on 138 points. Anton Poiker is third on 136 points. Homesick Alien is fourth on 123 points. Bunny is fifth on 114 points. Guesty is sixth, also on 114 points. Skyjacker seventh on 105 points. With Talleyrand 8th on 101 point. Wow, you two are close. Barry Twins is 9th with 57 points. Electric is 10th on 56 points. Turtle is 11th on 48 points. Jocus is 12th on 47 points. Pat is 13th on 41 points. Jim is 14th on 38 points. Very tight all the way down here. It could be shuffled around each round. Rido 15th on 19 points. And UBD is 16th on 15 points. Yeah, that's going to be uncomfortable, being only, 4 points ahead of Talleyrand. I mean, he doesn't seem to have come to life in this championship yet, but you know, he's got mad skills. He's faster than Racer Brown on his day, I think. If Racer Brown and Talleyrand went up against each other, I think Talleyrand has it in him to beat him. He comes out with some unbelievable times. When we do the time trials, Talleyrand does do some unbelievably fast times.
He's fast in the time trials, yeah, definitely. But I don't know, I think Talleyrand struggled on Friday, in the wet especially, I think. It's made the same choices I did with tyres, except that I stopped to change mine and he decided to continue. But yeah, I agree. He's always a threat in any race, and yeah, I enjoy being ahead of him.
Well, I'm just saying it might not be for long.
No, I don't.
The car out.
I don't expect it to be for long.
Something out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. If I finish anywhere within the top half of the table, I'll be quite happy. In WRX Challenge, especially, as a very, very strong grid, with a car that, you know, not everybody likes, not everybody gets on with. One week it's fine, the next week it's not okay, and obviously, as I said that before, the whole point is to find the best all rounder, and I think the fact that we've had an endurance race, dirt round, a wet, 3/4 wet round, and stuff like that so far, it seems to be quite even.
It is.
Let's keep going.
It's been a glorious one, this one.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to see how it all ends up.
And
that is the week of racing we've had here in the VRC. It's been quite fun. And the only thing we've got Sunday night to look forward to is the little Golf Mark ones.
Yeah, well, we've got about an hour until the lobby opens for the Golf Mark ones.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for that. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I'm always nervous at this point to see how it all turns out, but it should be all right. The little one-off race that they had, they were good, and when me and you took them out, they felt okay. I saw someone saying about putting up the horsepower, but they really were undrivable. You couldn't turn them into the corner. They're just too much torque.
Well, as soon as you come anywhere near the throttle, the front tyres went light and straight on you went. No, I think these are fun. Chuck them into the corner. If you get your tune right, they're going to stick. You're going to be able to get on the throttle early and power out of the corner. I'm personally looking. Well, I've been nagging you for a while to do these, haven't I? So since that Sunday Cup, I've been nagging you actually. So yeah,
I've come up once or twice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yes, me too. I am excited. I'm just always nervous when it's a new championship.
No,
it's something we've overlooked or something we haven't worked out properly. When it's spring races, it's usually okay. There's not many exploits.
Well, it's a good opportunity that if somebody's got their gearing wrong, they're only going to suffer for one race, or if they feel that the back end's a bit slidey, they're only going to suffer for one race, as long as they can tune it out. So yeah, but I like that side of it, that you can tweak the car between the races and stuff like that. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be good fun.
Cool, and that'll be running for 8 weeks, and it's only. They've brought the date forward for GT7, have they not? I'm sure I've heard something about end of February.
No, I've not heard anything about that.
I'm sure I read something. It was only 3 weeks away from release now.
Well, hold on. Where did we put that countdown? I can't remember where we put it.
I can't remember. I saw it when we first did it. It was awesome. But I saw on Facebook someone said that their countdown just dropped like 24 hours or 36 hours or something.
Don't you actually have the countdown? Don't you have it on your PlayStation or something like that?
Only if you go into the store and then go on to Gran Turismo. I thought I'd have Gran Turismo sat there and I could just click on it whenever just to see the countdown, but it hasn't shown up in my menu yet.
The countdown we've got is 39 days. But that's set to March the 4th. I've not dug out a release date.
No.
Someone, go double check the release date.
There you go. We'll find out. We'll bring you all the news as it breaks here at the Virtual Racers Club. Tune into the Pitstop to find out. These news
10 weeks after it happened, yeah? But yeah, I'm looking forward to GT7 as well. Get that out.
I know. I think after the golfs are done, I'm just going to do some one-off races with GT7.
Yeah.
Just having to play around with it, not rushing to any kind of championships.
Well, fair enough.
Get them old tracks out because there's rumours. Rumours there's Albert Park there, just through a picture, but apparently it's just a prop.
Oh, okay.
They didn't really give it any thought what track the picture was, but it does say Gran Turismo on the picture, and that's what people are sort of questioning, saying, well, why would it say Gran Turismo on a picture of Albert Park? So,
well, imagine that Albert Park wouldn't charge a shitloads for licensing, would they?
Not really. The only chance they yeah. And if there's an Australian Cup,
there's got to be Australian cars.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Aussie tracks. I'd love to see Adelaide back again. I used to love Adelaide on the F1 games.
Racer Brown has just confirmed that it's still saying the 4th of March. Thank you very much, Racer Brown.
Okay. All right then. It must have been a hoax I saw on Facebook. Me, I'm gullible.
I was just about to say, it's just you chatting shit that you've read somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it's just as pre-order folk get it early. That's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. Well, I've opened the birthday card from the wife with a little message on it saying that she's pre-ordered me GT7 for my birthday. So,
yay!
Go Mrs. Skyjacker.
Join the club.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 of us with PS5s that's going to have GT7. I think Homesick will get it as well. That'll be 3 of us.
Right.
Just in case there's no cross.
Well, yeah, I mean, I imagine there will be cross, but we'll see. Oh, what cross between PS? Imagine there'll be cross between PS4
I think
and PS5.
They'll have it. I'm just wondering how functional it'll be. We're talking about something that, how long's it been out now? 5 years, and they still can't
get it right.
Together.
Yeah, true.
Still haven't sorted out the pit glitch. I mean, geez, that would be number one on the list. It comes up so often, that pit glitch, that you think they would. I know they can't, but I don't understand why they can't. If someone hasn't got good enough signal, don't let them in the room. I mean, it's harsh, but it would speed things up. If someone can't get in, they can't get in. I mean, Electric's had that before.
Yeah,
where his internet's just not been strong enough to get into the room.
Normally with Electric, when he joins the lobby before you get there, if he bounces in and out a couple of times, I go and reset the room, and that seems to fix that problem. But actually, one point on connections and DCs and stuff like that, yeah, one of my personal gripes is me asking for people to exit and people not exiting. If you've ever Coy, I'm sure Coy will back this up, and so will Alpha and anybody else who's been on chat with me in a league night. It winds me right up when we ask you to exit. Do it straight away and come out of the lobby and hit the red X. Do it straight away, please. Don't do half a lap on your own or practice starts or anything like that. Time is tissue. Time is sensitive. We got. Alpha missed out on race 2 last night because of how long it dragged out for the connection issues, the red flag, and all that sort of stuff, which meant that it got too late for him to compete in race 2. So we really do need to button up with when the host says exit, you exit. When we ask you to enter back in, you enter back in. Don't think, they're going to reset the grid in a minute. I can go for a pee or I can go make a brew or something like that. Just wait until we change the settings and ask you to exit or enter, and then you can crack on and do what you want for a couple of minutes while we're sorting it out. Please, thank you. This is your public service broadcast from the Virtual Racers Club. Sorry.
I'm asking with peace and love, please. Exit when you're out. It's one button, people. Come on.
Well, there's been the odd occasion where it's dragged on for that long that I've just shut the room and restarted again. Obviously, that's even longer than somebody coming out and exiting straight away. So please listen to us, guys.
That's it.
Right,
so, yeah, no, it's perfect sense. It's from. I think it happened to me when I was doing a stream. I think someone was just sort of dawdling around. Yeah. On their own for a lap. I can't even remember who it is, but I remember mentioning it on the broadcast and then seeing you saying, exit straight away, please, in the chat. And I thought, there you go. But yeah, it does. It just slams everything. You can't do anything until everyone's exited, at least. So
no, you're right. I can't do anything. I can't make people exit. The only thing I can do is either wait or shut the room if people aren't listening. And either which way,
and then you got to wait for it, and then you're tempting fate for someone else to have connection issues. Then,
well, yeah, exactly that.
If it's stable, you want to
stay in the room
as possible, don't you?
Exactly, and then it's the change to set the grid order by host, and then waiting for everybody to enter, and then sometimes I've got to tag somebody in because I can't set the grid. I can set the grid, but every time I have to wait for people to enter with the green tick to be able to set the grid. And if I start setting the grid without everybody entered, I've got to keep coming in and out. Whereas it's just easier to just do it in one hit. So just be conscientious of us poor hosts that have to do everything on the fly and off the cuff and make decisions last minute and on the fly.
I can't do it. I'll openly admit I have meltdowns. It stresses me to the max. I can't concentrate on the racing. If there's an issue, I'll have a bad race the next race because I'll still be thinking about that whole trying to get this sorted, that sorted, everyone in the group, worrying about people with connection issues, and it's just too much.
No,
it stresses me out.
The only thing that stresses me out is delays. I can handle it. Unnecessary delays. I can handle it with connection issues. I can handle it if people turn around and say that they think I've made a wrong call. Like, for example, on Friday, Bunny disconnected in qualifying. No, Bunny disconnected in qualifying. We reset after quali for race 1, and I put him at the back. The reason I put him at the back is because on my results screen, it showed that he didn't qualify. So I can't sit there and then trawling through the replay because it's going to take even longer. So just put him at the back. I know Bunny's going to be all right with it because he might say, the grid's wrong or something like that, but I'm not stopping. We're already late. and stuff like that. I mean, we only promised one reset. Anything over that, it's a bonus for people.
No, that's fair enough.
But yeah, but that's
there was two different, same scenarios, but two different ways of doing it anyway. Because I think it was Triv GG might have dropped out of Racer Brown's qualifying.
Okay.
They finished qualifying, then redid the grid. Whereas you stopped the qualifying. Oh no, you got to the end of qualifying.
We got to the end of qualifying, and then we exited race 1. Yeah, but obviously on my results screen, there was no qualifying time, so.
No.
But yeah,
them's the bits. But yeah, like I said, I'm expecting a lot of that in the early days of GT7.
Probably.
I'm expecting very unstable logwoods, and I'm hoping to be wrong. I'm hoping that the Polyphonic Digital have put a bit of effort in. I mean,
at least they're
stuff from GT Sport.
At least they're not releasing it at Christmas.
No.
I mean, you obviously, what was it? Sport was released in November. Those of us that got it between November and Christmas had no problems whatsoever until Christmas Day, and until Christmas week, and then it was overloaded with the servers overloaded. So hopefully, yes, fine. Most people are going to run out and get it on day of release and stuff like that. Especially now with the digital version over the disc version. But I'd imagine that after a couple of weeks it will quieten down, I'd imagine, until Christmas.
Yeah. So then it'll go crazy again.
Yeah, I think
that's if they can sell any PS5s. PS5s.
Yeah, if they get any PS5s in, yeah.
Because it's talking now that they're thinking of branching out to PC in there, Gran Turismo.
Well, I think that they want to be considered a proper professional sim, don't they? And that won't happen until they go onto PC, because as far as real sim racers go, until as far as real sim racers go, shall we say the real, I don't know how to describe them, but they consider that the real sim games are on PC, aren't they? Not on console. But I disagree.
I mean, iRacing is the one that usually comes to. That's the one they use.
But that's what I don't get, because iRacing looks shit.
I know, but I found that with PC people, like my kid was all about getting the PC, about PC gaming and all of this. It's so much superior, and he's saved his money up. He's spent quite a bit of money on a PC computer, and every time I walk in there, the games he's playing, they don't look that great. And if I mention it, it's like it's all right. It's an old game, okay, and all this. So. I think PC gamers like to know they can have the best graphics. They just don't use the best graphics because I'm guessing it just lags everything right up.
I was about to say, a lot of it depends on the graphics card. The guy I worked with has just spent something like £700 on a graphics card or something like that. And he apparently. Again, I'm no PC expert or anything like that, but this is one of the top of the range graphics cards that you can get. But £700, that's more than a PS5 on its own, just for one component. It's ridiculous.
I remember, sorry, that was a horrible cough, wasn't it? I remember I bought my first PC, I got washed away with it all because I wanted to play Grand Prix on PC, because that was meant to be the dog's bollocks of racing games or Formula One games. And I remember buying a PC, getting the game, getting it all set up, and then sitting there in the settings, slowly dialing down everything, because it just was unplayable when it was on its top. I mean, obviously, I just got an off-the-shelf PC, so I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
And that's what put me off PC gaming forever, because then any game after that, I got that. And you just have to sit there for about an hour finding what settings runs on your computer best. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm sticking to consoles. You just put the disc in, you play it. I mean, I know more recently they release unfinished games because they can get away with it more.
Yeah, exactly that. But then that Racer Brown's just pointed me in another direction for PC gaming and iRacing in particular. iRacing is subscription based. You got to pay to play it every month or whatever it is, and he's just giving me a rough figure there of about £1,000 a year or something like that. Or it better not be a £1,000 one-off fee. But that's ridiculous.
I still read that it's got its cocks in it that drive into you.
Yeah.
It's not like, because they think to pay, when people pay, they think that's it, more serious people. Because that's the problem with the daily races, isn't it? There's a lot of People would play arcade games more Forza sort of style games, or
I think the issue
is
it's anonymous. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. You're not racing with people you know. There's no direct repercussion. Whereas obviously, if I'm driving around and I just punt Matt's going to be very upset with me. I'll say Matt because Matt's got his hand up. I'm sure Matt would probably agree that if I punted Matt off into the Shadow Realm, he would be disappointed with me. That's why we don't do it. It's because we don't want to ruin guys that we know's races. We don't want to destroy the competition. We want to have a race. We want to have a competition.
Yeah. Oh, well, Matt's got his hand up. Let's have him up here then, shall we? Do you think he wants to talk about computers? Because that's what we pretty much. I know. Oh, he's already up there.
Yeah, I did it.
I didn't press anything.
Evening. You guys alright?
Hello there, Matt. How are you doing?
Grand Prix 2. Jeff Crammond's Grand Prix 2 on PC was amazing.
I didn't get that far. I didn't get past first.
Did you not? Grand Prix 2. Well, that's still Hush Tone's job. The old Michael Crow's Grand Prix series.
No, I mean, I had to dial it. My PC must have been just because I didn't know what I was doing. I just bought a PC off the shelf. It was still £1,000. This bloody PC and that. And I got Grand Prix home, and then it wouldn't run on the graphics it was on. And then I just dialed it down, and it didn't look any better than Pole Position on the Mega Drive. In the end, it had pretty much taken all the background away. It was just the track and the cars.
It's probably where I show my age. My first racing was Revs on BBC B. My dad's BBC B, and that was in like 3 colours. So yeah, I think I've got low expectations.
Yeah, well, most of mine was done on the was it Master System or Mega Drive? It was called Pole Position, and they were the shapes of the tracks. I'll give them that. They didn't look nothing like the tracks. It was just green floor and grey where the track is. But I think, we got, because I was into F1 and I bought Autosport, they all just had the track guide every race. And in all fairness, they were the right shapes.
Just the right.
Just random corners.
So my first was Sega Rally was my first experience of racing.
I used to hustle at uni on Sega Rally.
Really?
Not too bad, and then
No, it used to be like, yeah, come on, the winner stays on, and so I used to get basically the loser would pay for the game effectively. So yeah, I used to spend out. This is maybe where I'm not bad at dirt. I'm dirt now.
Yeah, did well.
I spent my university years playing Sega Rally.
Nice.
Fair enough.
I moved from Sega. I went to PlayStation with that. Was it 97 season of Formula One? No, 95. I just murdered that. I couldn't afford a memory card for the first sort of few months, and then PlayStation never got turned off.
Yeah,
I never played GT at all. GT5 was the first time I played GT. I didn't have a console for years.
No, I had the first GT game, but I preferred Toka because it had in car.
Yeah, I like Toka.
Yeah, I played Toka and Toka 2 more than Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I played that a lot as well. We used to have leagues at work. Back in the day when work was fun, my boss used to make us play at lunchtime on all the network PCs.
Well, Homesick Alien used to come over every Tuesday with his console, and I think we had 2 TVs, but yeah, we used to just do that LAN cable. We could connect to PS2s, was it, together? And he used to come over every Tuesday. We used to race in races.
Toka was brilliant.
Toka was good.
We did that sort of stuff at college with Xboxes and Halo 2, I think it was.
Yeah, Halo, yeah.
Yeah, we used to
Sky, can you do us a favour? Can you give us your settings for the Subaru, please?
My settings?
Yeah.
Why?
No, I haven't worked the bloody thing out yet.
What is you've got a couple of different settings there, haven't you?
That's what I mean. I'm still making up as I go along.
Can I give you a
drivetrain thing?
I won't give you.
You got a brake balance, yeah.
I won't give you my settings, Matt, but I'll give you a tip. Turn TCS off.
Yeah, I think I had it on for the first wet race. I think.
In that Subaru, even on 1, you're not going to have a proper feel for the car. And the diff settings make a massive difference in how that car behaves in different tracks and different conditions. And I don't have just one setting.
Look, you know what research he did after the V-dubs?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm glad you had a good COVID isolation. My wife's still isolated, so I've been looking after the boys for the whole week. And literally before Friday, I jumped on for half an hour. I've got 15 minutes per setting. I can't do all three, so I just did the dry one and then the wettest one.
I'll
I need a couple of days to sort this car out because I still haven't worked it out yet. It's too slidey for me. I don't like it. I can't get my head around this slides and stuff. I watch Homesick, who's just Larry as hell, and it's like he's going quicker than me, but he's constantly sideways. How's he doing it? I don't get it.
He'll have it all pointed to the front. He'll just sling that thing into corners. It'll be pointy as hell, and as he comes up to the corner, he just slings it in.
Yeah, I'm too Jensen Buttony, I think. Bit too niche. Anyway, all right, Sky. Thank you. I'll have a proper play with the diff and stuff.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Hold on.
All right, boys. Enjoy the golf tonight.
Oh yeah, cheers, man.
Yeah, man. What are you racing in? You're not doing golf, are you?
Super formulas this season.
He's gone.
Yeah, I think they're using the super formulas. I haven't watched one yet. I haven't had a chance, but. Excuse me. I'm holding the phone away when I cough, forgetting I've got my earbuds in, so you're getting every cough anyway. I'm so sorry.
So I'm the same with my vape pen. Occasionally I'll hit mute on here, but forget that it's still coming out on the stream and stuff like that. So,
it adds to my COVIDness.
Yeah, I was just about to say, every time that somebody mentions COVID, you seem to cough. Like, oh,
yeah, that's what it is.
Poorly me. I've had COVID. Sympathy, please, guys.
Monday, so I'm not having to do too
much. You've got me back so early for streaming. Come on, guys.
I know. I was trying to milk it. I tell you what, though, it was a piece of piss. I joined the non-believers if they weren't all crackpots. But yeah, that was barely now. I know some people are getting it hit hard. I mean, my team leader at work, he's ended up 2 weeks off with it. It really got it.
Yeah, there's that long COVID though.
But me, I just felt a bit tired. Yeah. I just chugged a few paracetamols, slept for 2 days, and then I was all right. I didn't have a lot of energy, but enough to lay in bed watching Netflix and walking downstairs doing PlayStation things, building cabins in Fallout.
Well, at least you're better. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you never know with COVID. You never know how it's quite going to hit you. Obviously, you had a couple of days where it's not been too bad, but obviously, as Matt was saying there, his wife, and we wish that she gets well soon, Matt, has been in bed for quite a few days, I gather. So.
Yeah, I know it's affecting everyone in different ways. But I wasn't a panic. I must say, sometime in the middle of Saturday when I knew I should have been commentating on the Versus thing and I just couldn't get out of bed. And then I was there and I started panicking about that whole long COVID thing and thinking, people, I listen to too much radio and callings, and I know there's people that are still suffering a year later from it. And I was there thinking, I was taking the piss saying I want to catch it, I want a week off work.
I'm like that as well, man.
The ramifications of it came through and I was like, I might have fucked up here.
Yeah, no, I'm the same, mate. Tongue in cheek, I want it for a week off work. I don't want it bad. I had an uncle who got it last year and who had long COVID. He just got over the long COVID a couple of months ago to then have this wave hit him as well. Bless him, but he's all right.
God.
He's all right. He was the same as you, ill for 48, 36 hours or whatever, and he was fine after that.
Yeah.
So, but right,
that's what's going to happen to it. It's just going to keep getting weaker and weaker because obviously it wants to survive and it wants to live with us. Yeah. And it's just going to turn into like a cold.
It's going to be like a seasonal flu, isn't it? We'll just have it added with our flu jabs or something like that. So, but we can't continue with the shutting down nightclubs and pubs and everything else like that. Our system just won't sustain it. But I was just going to say, I've got about 10 minutes until I've got to get ready for golfs. So if somebody would like to come up and say hi for the last 10 minutes, you're more than welcome to.
Go on, open forum, guys. Anything you want. Sling one in there and see what sticks.
Chat about anything. The upcoming TVT.
2022, I have seen flashes of brilliance from all of you out there. Pat has had some cracking races lately in the rival series. Jokus was leading. in the VGT not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Koikar did an absolutely solid job in the second race of the team versus team. I was mighty impressed. He stuck with Homesick for the longest of time. I wouldn't have been able to stay with him for that long. So I've got to say, the racing this year so far has been absolutely blinding by all of you. Absolutely every single one of you. It has been fantastic to watch and commentate on so far.
As long as we keep you entertained, sir.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. Well, it's harder because obviously you want to look up at the pointy end of the pack because that's obviously, that's where the gold and the silver and the bronze is.
Mm.
But when there's racing throughout, it's so difficult just to try and spread it out. And I kind of get grumpy with myself if I miss something. I knew something was coming, like you'd be catching someone up and your tyres were better. And I think, in the back of my head, I say, there's no process, it's an autopilot. But I kind of roughly know how it works, that I know you're catching them. And in about half a lap's time, you should be on the back of them. So I've got time to go and have a look.
But then by the time you get distracted, and then by the time you come back, it's done and dusted, and you've got to rewind 30 seconds. Yeah, mate. We've always said that we love the way you do it. Everybody enjoys watching your streams that do watch your streams. Even people outside of the club. I mean, the viewing figures we get, unless like each and every single person who competes on a regular basis is watching the video each stream 3 times, we're getting more and more views from outside the group.
No, it shocks me. Like I said, when I started getting into it, it's literally for the 14, 15, maybe even 10 people that are taking part in it. Because it's not, because you don't know what happens in a race. That was the one thing I always thought when I raced, is you only know what's happening in front of you and behind you. And you don't know how you've taken part in a race. You have no idea what's happened in. And it's like there was another group where he used to do a commentary on it, and it was nice seeing how a race unfolded around you and what your effect was in the race that you didn't even know about. So yeah, I literally started doing it. It was just about for the guys that raced, really, just so they knew what happened in the races. And it's kind of got loads more viewers than I expected it ever to. I was expecting between 10 to 15.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I was saying about the awards thing is when we first started this, we didn't ever think we'd get this many people racing or watching or anything like that. I mean, the fact that we every time we look at facts and figures and stuff like that, we surpass all of our expectations. I mean, I know for well that me and Talleyrand personally don't have any expectations. We don't have a driving figure to where we want the views to grow to. We know how many views or how many likes or how many shares and stuff like that we need to achieve before we can monetize the streams. Likewise with the website, I know I need to get so many views and so much traffic and stuff like that on the website before we can start monetizing that and earning revenue in some way, shape, or form from that. But we're not in any rush to achieve these figures. We don't push anything. I mean, I love your backhanded way of asking for a like and a subscribe, because it's fine. YouTube love it. YouTube absolutely loves it, but we don't mind. We're quite happy with.
I do like the likes. I have to openly admit, every now and again I'll look on an old video just to see how many likes it's had, and I'll get a bit of a chuffed on if it's like somewhere around 12, anywhere between 8 and 12, and I think, that's all right.
Yeah,
it's had like 50, 60 views, but only 12 of those people liked it. But
yeah, but nobody disliked it.
No.
And it's like surveys in real life. You know them surveys that they get for a 1 to 10. Or if you feel strongly about this, hit 10. So they class anything 8 or above as they're positive people. They will complete surveys left, right, and centre anyway. The people who do it in the middle don't care and aren't paying attention. And then the people who do the negative stuff only do the negative stuff because it was bad, for no other reason. Yeah. So I mean, I'm personal. I'll only ever leave a bad review if it's worthy of a bad review or something like that. But if it's a good review, then I won't necessarily give it a review. So
no.
I mean, how many dislikes have we ever had? Only a couple.
We get the odd one now and again. It's usually when someone's just left.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah,
usually someone's had a bit of a paddy in Discord and then left the championship, and then the next stream after that, I always seem to get a dislike, and I just think, oh. Now, is that personally against me, or is that just
just against the group? Probably against me.
But yeah, they don't come up too often. And I remember the first time it happened, I freaked out. But it was that Dino had a real issue in one of the WRX challenges.
Oh.
And I can't remember what it was. Oh, he said someone had done him, but they didn't. We all watched the replay, and it was an okay move, wasn't it? It seemed legit.
No, if I remember,
he was really upset about it.
He was crying about a move.
And then he put a video on Facebook and slagged us off on Facebook before he even put the stewards in.
Yeah. It was crazy. Unfortunately, in this world, people are like that, aren't they? And
hot under the collar.
Hot under the collar. Don't understand things. Don't have respect really, or anything like that. You know, I mean. It's a difficult one to explain without like feeling sounding like I'm going to be offensive. But yeah, I mean,
no, but I was good about it because it was a guy who was quite new who made the move on him, and it was a legitimate move, but it really shook his confidence, and he just sort of slowly stopped taking part now, and I can't even remember his username now.
I do.
He probably doesn't want me to remember it.
I do.
But I was really good because he was good.
And he was coming along.
Like
he was progressing. He was getting faster and faster. That was one of the first races that he actually was showing how much he'd learned and stuff like that. And yeah, there was nothing wrong with the move. If I remember rightly, the negative part on the move was on Matey Boy's on Dino's side. If I remember rightly, if it's the move I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, personally, people like that.
But that's
what
happens when. That's why we have that no attack thing, because it does shake people's confidence and it can put them off, and it's wrong when it happens because. Like I said, he was on the move. I can't, got an idea of what his name was.
I remember. Iron Bobber.
It was Iron something.
Yeah, Iron Bobber. It was sound. Really liked him. Yeah, really liked him.
Yeah, nice lad.
Yeah,
it was good when he just,
just slowly drifted away.
Because of all of that. Yeah.
To be fair, I think he would have given Digi a run for his money on a tyre saving race. He was awesome at saving tyres. He was.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh. We could reminisce all day.
We could about members have been and gone.
But you've got to go and do some practicing, and I've got to see if my dinner's ready.
I've got to go.
Perfectly between.
I've got to go make a brew in my nice Virtual Racers Club mug. I've got the ones with all the league logos on it. And if you'd like to buy yours, please head to www.virtualracersclub.com and hit the buy VRC merch button, and that will take you to our online store. Ta-da, promo, get in.
Damn, you're smooth. Man, I didn't even notice that one getting bombarded.
Yeah, I need to go get a cup of coffee.
From nowhere, wow. That was, do you know what? It's made me want to go to, what's that website again? Because I want to go and buy a mug now.
www.virtualracersclub.co.uk.
And I too could have a Virtual Racers Club mug.
Well, also, I'm sitting here nice and warm in my 3XL Virtual Racers Club black hoodie, non-zip. That I also bought that from via WW.
Damn me! Take my money now. What's going on here? What was that website? www.virtualracersclub.co.uk.
Yes, and Virtual Racers Club is all one word.
My Lord God, I'm going to be there straight away. I'm going to have no money left after this good stuff. All right, guys. Yes.
Anyway,
buy something, damn you guys. Read between the lines here.
Buy something, don't buy something. It's completely up to you guys. We've not done it for anything other than if you want to buy it. I'm just winding up, just having a laugh. But yeah, it was only because I said that I wanted to go and make a cup of coffee, and I happened to make one in a mug that I bought when we first opened the shop. That's all.
What mug's that?
The VRC mug with all the logos, all the league logos on it.
Oh, that would be awesome to have. Where can I get one of them? All right. Okay, guys. Yeah, Skyjack has got to go make a brew in his VRC mug. You can get up our website. Go and have a look. And I'm going to go and see if my dinner's ready, so I'm not chomping at the beginning of the Golf Cup. Good luck to all of you that are in the Golf Cup and whatever else you're racing. I think I haven't watched any race, but I think Matt and Pat Maybe Daz. Could be racing and Jokers. They could be chasing the Sunday night league dream this evening in them super formulas. They're up on drive. It has to be said. I don't know what the rules are over there. I am going to watch them. I like to keep up with those guys in their other championship.
I've too much other stuff to watch. As much as I know that guys compete both here and SNL, and I wish them all the luck in or any of us all the luck for other leagues we race in. I just don't get a chance to watch any of them anymore much.
It is a struggle to stay on top of your YouTube playlist and Netflix and Prime and Disney.
Like that, and all, yeah.
It's just too much.
Even just our stuff takes up shitloads of room.
No, I know. I've watched a couple as well. I don't usually. I did in the beginning. I know you don't want to crack on chatting, but I used to watch back the commentary just to see what it was like because I weren't sure. And then I've stopped listening to it for ages and stuff like that. That's why I never know what's happened in a race when we do these pit stops and you say that's happened and I went, did it? Oh, okay. But yeah, I've watched a couple recently and damn, I'm good. Yeah, but yeah, they're entertaining enough, aren't they? They're all right.
Yeah,
they're I think I'm deranged sometimes, some of the crap I say, but it's all right. The race is pretty much followable from what I'm talking about. I don't know.
Very, very much. Well, that your commentary is that followable that I listen to it whilst I'm racing when you're live.
No, I don't know.
So
that doesn't put you off. God, Bathurst must have been, your heart must have sunk, and then the next 30 seconds you must have heard me screaming like a banshee in the background.
Yeah, sometimes, but yeah, but it's like when I was going over the line with Anton on Friday, you were screaming and shouting then. But it's not. I've got used to it now, mate. That's all. Got used to it.
I just think it was distracting.
No,
weird. No. Although good way of keeping track of everyone's fuel tanks and stuff. I imagine.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I do it. I'm not going to lie.
Not talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'll quite happily put it out there. I listen to the stream to gain a tactical advantage on my competition.
Well, it's there for everyone.
Exactly
I stop
exactly
mentioning it. I've got to mention it because I try and do it like because I've seen the kids and the way they use YouTube, and I know other people are the same. Is YouTube's on their iPad while they're playing computer games.
Yeah.
So I know no one's really watching. So I try and do the commentary like you're not watching. I'm trying to explain what's going on.
I know that Coy listens to any live streams whilst he's at work and doing his day job. I will occasionally put a stream on and listen to it through the car radio rather than listen to the radio. I regularly listen back to these the Monday after if I've got a long drive and stuff like that. It's good entertainment. It's good.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lucky people. You're lucky people. I survived COVID for you guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll wrap this up. And hopefully next Sunday we'll see. It's fluid. It's down to Skyjacker. In all fairness, I haven't got a life. I'm here every Sunday.
At the moment, I'm clear for Sunday. Things might change between the next day or two, so keep an eye on the events tab. And as soon as I've got an eye of whether I'm clear or not, I'll put up an event if I'm clear. All right, then, guys.
Sweet. All right, guys. See you later. And have fun. Peace and love. Peace.